just hold me tight. No words are needed.
Evening, everybody. I hope you can hear me okay, and I hope you're well. It's been quite crazy last couple of days. I've got a guest who should be coming on shortly, who's a Newcastle fan. Kind of wanted to just compare seasons really between ourselves and themselves. Obviously, they're in the Champions League, we're in the Europa League, so kind of wanted to just find out a little bit more about what he thinks his club's doing and how well they're doing, and a little bit about Newcastle, and then obviously talk a little bit about Liverpool as well, because I think we kind of need to get a bit of perspective against other teams. We're all kind of really focused on ourselves, and it's not quite doom and gloom. They're obviously below us in the league. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me? You let me know in the chat. I really don't want to have any audio issues. Hope so. Yeah, so when he'll come on, we'll have a chat about other teams. Oh, good. Don't be messing with me. Keep up the level. Honestly. The amount of times I've done these shows and I've been chatting for like 5 minutes on mute. I hope everyone's kind of calmed down from yesterday's mess as well. I haven't seen Liverpool that bad since last season when we played Wolves and Brighton and loads of other clubs, and we were crap. It was really poor. And it was such a Liverpool thing to almost get a draw and get robbed by VAR at the same time. That's such a Liverpool thing to do right now. We didn't deserve anything, but we could have walked away with a point, which is crazy because they had 2 goals disallowed. One of them I thought was a perfectly good goal. The other one was a marginal offside, and they deserved a couple more on top of that. Could have been a real tonking. I don't think we had any shots apart from the ones that went in, and Trent shooting from like 50 yards. I thought Keller was really poor. I'm starting to think we missed a chance to make some money on him, because I think he's probably going to go down in price. I also feel like Tsimikas is kind of showing that he's not the player that can replace Robinson. He's just not the player that can replace Robertson. When he makes a mistake, he goes into his shell, and then he makes another mistake and then another mistake, and he kind of dwells on what he's done, and he can't shake it off. So once he's made an error, he's going to have a bad game from then on. He won't go forward. He won't try and take a player on. He won't try and put a cross in. He'll go into his shell, and he'll keep on passing it sideways, or he'll keep on passing it back, and then he ends up just getting taken off. Really can't be having players like that in the team. Shrinking violets, I think you call them. I also feel like when we haven't got Curtis Jones in midfield, we look very disjointed and susceptible to being overrun and being beaten in a battle. Curtis Jones, for me, is such an integral player. Like, the thing that I've noticed as well is I feel like when Curtis Jones isn't in the team, Dominic Szoboszlai doesn't play well, which is a real issue because it means that he's relying on this guy to do something in the team, to be just a structure, just a, I don't know, more defensively minded or more just midfield, keep possession minded. And when Kurt's there, Dom has got the freedom, and Dom kind of knows that he can just go and play his game naturally. And when Gravenberch is there, it doesn't work with Dom. And when McAllister's there with somebody else, it doesn't work with Dom. Like, Dom's now dropped in form. And the other thing that worries me about Dom is he's being completely overplayed. Like, he's being redlined now. Like, the numbers show that he's being completely redlined. He's being overplayed massively. And also McAllister's been overplayed as well. Like, they're right on the level, like, of they could be injured. Like, this ban suspension, which McAllister's got, is probably a good thing for him because he'll get a rest now and he's not back on the red line. But Dom's got to play. Dom played last game, came on. Dom's got to play next game. Dom played in the cup game. Like, it's not great. And now we've got a midfield injury crisis, which is just crazy considering we just signed 3 new midfielders. But we have, because Curtis Jones is injured because he was played too soon after coming back from not playing for a few games. He should have been brought in gradually. He was just thrown straight in, and now he's got a hamstring. Thiago's never fit, and then you've got Bajcetic, who's never fit. So you basically got another Ox and another Keita in Thiago and Bajcetic. You've got 2 midfielders that are never fit. Like, I thought that was the whole point in revamping the midfield. But now we've got 2 other players that just replace them, because Thiago is on mega wages and he's never fit, and Stefan Bajcetic is keeping us from signing a defensive midfielder now, and he's always injured. I mean, it's not his fault. He's got growing injuries. He's got the same type of injuries that Steven Gerrard had, where he was growing into his body at a young age, and he's got those kind of issues where it's abductor, it's back, it's thigh, it's now hamstring. So he's got those injuries. So it's an interesting one. Let me just bring a couple of the chats. Big up everyone in the chat. I mean, one of the goals, like Red Pit, one of the goals which went in, 2 of the chances they had as well. Like, it was like we put a tall forward. It's like we put a tall outfield player in goal. He was flapping at everything. He was flapping at everything like it was Harry Kane in goal. Watch it back. Like, he was atrocious. Like, he fills me with zero confidence. Like, I now think he now looks like Mignolet in goal. Seriously, I'm being completely serious. Like, he now acts like Mignolet in goal. Like, all you need to do as a team is hit the ball in the net area and it goes in. It'll go through him. He won't get a hand to it. He won't get a leg to it. He looks really, really shaky. He's constantly dropping back onto his line. Like, he deflected one of the goals into the path of the player because he was completely stuck on his line. All he had to do was block it or catch it or push it out. It's not good. It's not good. I mean, Pitaluga he's going to get called up to the Brazilian Olympics team. That's how much they rate him. He should be a number 2. And, like, why can't Ali play all the games? Like, he's a goalkeeper. Like, Ali doesn't need to rest. Like, he's not even playing international football right now, Ali. So play him. Don't get it. Don't get it. Look, it's it's a crazy one because I was Klopp out last season. I'm still Klopp out to a relative degree, but I think we have to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like he's had a lot of changes. Like he's completely changed his midfield. He's now like bringing in two strikers. Like he's playing new defenders. Like he's playing a different formation. Like he's 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 spinning a lot of plates, and I feel like we're in a good position in the league. We're in a good position in the Europa League. We've made some silly decisions, like not buying a DM, like a proper DM, is I find that baffling. I find us giving Costas a new contract weird. Like I don't understand that. I don't understand giving Adrian a new contract. There's a number of things which I don't understand, but I don't know whether that's down to Klopp, whether that's the club, whether that's director of football. I don't know. There's a number of things, but we've dropped significantly in performance-wise in the last two games. We've kind of believed our own hype, like we're doing really well in the league. Like, we don't need to try hard. Sorry, but you need to put shift in. You need to run. You need to head it. You need to tackle it. If you don't do that in games, then you get beat, and that's what happened. That's what happened in the last game, and that's what happened against Luton. You don't run. They run more than us. They won more tackles than us. They did more than us. If you don't do more than the other team, then you lose. Doesn't matter who you are. Even Man City do. You know. Keep it level. Big up. Look at Pep's Man City. They get the job done. I know. Think about Man City. They're so well drilled. Like every single player knows exactly what he's there to do, and they also know that they have a bad game, they're gone. Like it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're Haaland. It doesn't matter if you're Diaz. It doesn't matter if you're Edison. It doesn't matter. You have a bad game with Pep. You're on the bench. Doesn't mess around. He benches the big players a lot. Like I want Klopp to do it. I want Klopp to drag Trent off the pitch. I want him to hook him at half time or even before half time when he's having a stinker. I want him to do that because players need to learn that if you don't work hard, you don't stay in the team. Trent does zero in our team right now. Like he tries these Hollywood passes all the time. Like, is that what we've resulted to? We've resulted to Hollywood passes from Trent when we've got Dominic Szoboszlai and Alexis McAllister and Gravenberch in midfield, who can all pass the ball well. They can all create. They can all control games. And we're literally reinventing our entire team around a right back who's not that good in midfield. Is that it? Is that how this season's going to go? Because he came on against Toulouse, and he was shit. He was shit. He was at fault for the third goal. He was at fault for the third goal. He put the ball over about 5 times. He didn't do any tracking back. Didn't win any duels. Just waltzed around. I seen him on the left wing one stage. Like he's starting to anger me. Like I'm starting to wonder why Gomez isn't playing every game and Trent isn't watching him from the bench. I really am. Because Gomez, for me, has been our best player this season. He's been our best player this season. Like he's had to play in multiple positions. He's had to play with multiple players. He's been used all over the place. He's played all the big games. He hasn't put a foot wrong. He's been absolutely sensational this season, Gomez. And fair play to him. What we got? Yeah, I know. He's been very subpar, very, very low. Like I can't. Like he's on 1 assist this season, Trent. 1 assist. Like at this rate, he's on these stats. Like the average, he's down to probably get 4 assists the whole season. Like, why are you putting him in a more attacking position, in a more possession-based position where he can affect the game more, but you're getting less of an outcome out of him? Like, you're putting him into a position where he's supposed to do more, and he's actually doing less. Like, he's getting between 70 and 100 touches in the game, but his passes are like 70% pass ratio. Like, Curtis Jones is on 94% tile this year. So his passing's down, his shooting's woeful, he's not controlling the game, he's not providing assists, he's only provided 3 big chances the whole season. Like, I can't work out why we're sacrificing the way we play, the way our team is set up for this one guy that's not actually producing anything to warrant him having that free role, and him having that domination in games when he's not dominating shit. Like, it's a fair point. It's a fair point. Since he's had that armband, he's really, really slackened off. Like, he really has. A big up TW74. I have not seen you before. If you have subscribed, big up. If you haven't, please do. Just think about this. Our goalkeeper is world class. Defense is poor. Midfield is always where Singapore progress makes it our forward line, and apart from Nunez and Salah short. I mean, we've relied on the goalkeeper a lot again. Look, I'm not coming on here saying doom and gloom and Liverpool are this and Liverpool are that, but it's just interesting to see that we've not been great, but we are still in every competition and we're still suited. You know, we're still sitting in good positions. You know, Man City haven't taken a lead against us. You know, they're only a couple of points ahead. You know, all the other teams are touching distance. You know, we're top of the Euro. Look, I'm not saying that we haven't won games and we haven't, but none of the other teams have really done anything to note. And I just feel like if we just went back to playing 4-3-3, I just think we could really, really dominate and not concede and really get some confidence behind us and go on another mad run. Because I feel like dropping points against Luton away is just unforgivable. Getting beat away to Toulouse is just unforgivable. And now we've got Brentford at home, who are a very good team, and they've got a very good midfield. And we've got a midfield crisis because we've only got 3 midfielders. And we're probably going to end up playing Gapco. So you have to look at it like that. Trent might have to go into midfield against Brentford because we're down to the bare bones. We really are down to the bare bones. Big up Vase of Flowers. Yeah, I mean, it is, but you also, it's on the back of dropping 2 points against Luton. I mean, it's on the back of basically, you know, Luis Diaz getting his head in where it hurts. You know, pulling a rabbit out the hat when we should have really lost against Luton. We didn't do anything to win it. You know, we got a lucky goal at the end. You know, we didn't really have a huge amount of shots on goal that were any good. Like Ali pulled off 2 worldy saves in that game as well. Like, they really did. I mean, keep it level, big up. I mean, I feel like when we go down to 10 men, we look better because we've got less players in the midfield. Because at the moment, the whole team is so narrow. Everybody goes inside, so you can throw a blanket over the entire team in the middle of the pitch. Like, the only player that's really pulling out wide is probably Salah. It's probably Salah, and Salah's probably only doing that because he knows that there's just no width, so someone's got to do it. Last season Salah was playing like linesman. Like, he still pulled off an incredible amount of GA, and he's still player of the month, and his GA is great. Like this year, but he should be doing more. He did nothing against Toulouse. I mean, he shouldn't have played against Toulouse, if I'm honest. Did nothing against Toulouse. I mean, he was getting 30-yard passes from Trent up at his head. And what's he supposed to do there? Like, he missed. Like, he should have scored that goal against Luton. Like, that was a tap in, but he squared it, or he mishit it, and it ended up going to Nunes, and he ballooned it over from an open goal. I mean, it was a calamity of all sorts in that game. But yeah, I mean, we played Mac as an 8 in that game against Toulouse. He was dreadful. He was really bad. I mean, we probably need to have a conversation about Endo as well. Like, I'm sat there thinking, oh, he's out with a knee injury. I mean, we sat with Endo. We give Endo a game. So we give him a game against Toulouse away, and he was dreadful. He was dreadful. Like, look, needs to have an honest question here. How many teams in the Premier League would Endo play for? How many teams? So Endo is a defensive midfielder. Okay. So if we go through a couple of teams now, tell me whether Endo gets in. Okay. Man City? Nah. They got Rodri. Yeah. Tottenham? They've got Basuma. And they've also got Bentancur. Arsenal? They've got Rice. They've got Jorginho. Better players. Thomas Partey. All better players. Doesn't get in that team. Does he get into Man United's team? They've got Casemiro. They've got McTominay. They've got Amrabat. Nope. Okay, now we're going on to Villa. Does he get in the Villa team? Douglas Luiz, Baba Kamara. Doesn't get in that team. Okay, so now we're looking at Brighton. Does he get in Brighton's? Doesn't get in Brighton's. They've just signed Bilbao. They've got Dahoud. They've got Gilmore. Doesn't get in that team. Okay, so now we're moving on to other teams like Brentford, Norgard, Jensen. Doesn't get in Brentford's team. Okay, does he get in? Who are we looking at now? Fulham, Paulinia? No. Okay, Palace, Decore? No. Okay, we're now down to the likes of Everton, West Ham. Doesn't get in their teams. Forest doesn't get in their teams. They've just got Sangar. Okay, does he get Burnley's? Okay, maybe he gets in Burnley's. I don't know anyone in Burnley's that's any good in their midfield. Sheffield United, maybe. And Wolves. Does he get in Wolves? No, Wolves have just signed a couple of midfielders and a DM. Bella Conte or Bella Carte. Whose team does he get in the Premier League? Seriously, 3. You say 3 teams, the bottom 3. I don't even think he gets in Bournemouth's. They've got Tyler Adams. They've got Alex Scott. Like, I don't even think he gets in Bournemouth's. Like, genuinely, he gets in Burnley's, Sheffield United and Luton's. Seriously, we have signed a 30-year-old Japanese international from a relegation-threatened team, Stuttgart in Germany, who have never been in the top 10 since they've been in the Bundesliga, like never finished in the top 10. Okay, they've always been fighting relegation. Yeah, for 20 million quid on a 4-year contract. Oh yeah, 4-year contract. Yeah. Hello, mate. I'm just going to talk about. I'm good, mate. Good, mate. I'm just going to finish this off. I'm just talking about Endo. Okay. So he signed him on a 4-year contract. In case you didn't know, Endo was signed on a 4-year contract, 20 million from Stuttgart, who have never been in the top 10. And we've just gone through the entire Premier League teams. And I missed out Newcastle because he's never getting in Newcastle's midfield. And the only teams he'd probably get into is Burnley, Luton, and Sheffield United. Why the hell is he at Liverpool? Who the hell sanctioned that move? Because we've got this guy for 4 years. We're stuck with him for 4 years. And he can't even play in the Europa League. He's not good enough to play in the Europa League. Like, he's certainly not going to be good enough to play in the Premier League. Like, because he doesn't get into any of those teams. So why does he get into a Liverpool team who are pushing for the title? Like, seriously. Like, someone needs to have a word because I know we all love a player and we all love, oh, you know, he tries hard and all this stuff. But he does daft stuff a lot. Like, he does daft things. Like, he should have been sent off against Toulouse. He should have. Like, I reckon the referee said to Klopp at half time, you got to take him off, mate, because I'll send him off. I'll send him off second half. Because the second tackle was a yellow card. The first tackle was a yellow card, borderline red card. He stamped on his foot, on his ankle. Rashford got sent off for doing that. So, look, whoever sanctioned that move, it's really poor because teams will never win the Premier League. No team will ever win the Premier League without a world-class DM, because it's just how it is. All the best teams have a defensive midfielder. All the best teams. You know, you look at your Arsenals with your Vieiras, your Gilbertos. They won the Premier Leagues with those guys, DMs. You've got your Chelseas with Makelele's, and you know, you've got Newcastle with Guimaraes now. You know, you've got, you know, Manchester United came second last year, didn't they? With Casemiro.
Yeah, but let me just correct you on one thing. Like,
it's huge.
Guimaraes is not like a DM. Like,
no, I know.
The way you guys are playing McAllister, where you're playing the base of the midfield, that's not his actual position.
No.
So players fill in, rotate, move around.
It's not great. Anyway, I finished with him anyway. So how you doing, mate?
Yeah, it's just been a long graft, man. Long, hard week, man.
It's been tough. It's been tough at work for me as well, mate. Yeah. I didn't talk about work.
I didn't watch you lot's game yesterday, but I just heard about the result.
Oh, mate, they could have had 7. Seriously, we were awful. We were dreadful, mate. But we did what Liverpool do as well. Like we scored an equaliser that got disallowed for VAR, which is madness, and could have got a point out of not deserving anything out of a game.
Who you lot got on a weekend?
We got Brentford at home. It's going to be tough. Okay. We've got no midfielders, mate. Who've you got on the weekend?
We've got Bournemouth away. Late kickoff.
That'd be easy. That'd be easy for you. You're right behind us, aren't you?
Yeah, I think we're about 6 or something like that. But we just lost. We lost back-to-back games to Dortmund, mate. Our squad is stretched, mate. We got like 8 injuries.
You got loads of injuries.
It's just
Isak's a big miss, isn't he?
The thing is, 1 minute we beat PSG, and everyone thought, "Oh yeah, we're top of the world. We're going to qualify from the group." So
I was going to put money. I was going to put money down for you to win the Champions League,
mate. And now we've lost back-to-back games. We're bottom, and luckily Milan beat PSG the other day because we didn't.
I I know that helped
So
us.
that result itself keeps the group even more open
It's
because
a crazy group, isn't it?
yeah. So
I
it's
really don't
still,
want you to drop into the Europa League. I don't want to play yous.
mate. We don't listen. We can't handle all those games, mate. Our squad can't handle that. We'll get
I was,
stretched Thursday,
it,
Sunday. There's
it's
no
hard, mate.
way,
It's hard.
mate. We are not coming fourth in top four if we play Europa League this season. It's either we come bottom of the Champions League group or qualify. I don't want third place Europa League.
Mate, the
We
amount
can't
of
have that.
teams that think they can do it and think it'll just be a breeze, it's just not. You have to be this certain animal, mate, to be able to cope with challenging on all fronts like that. You really do. It's not easy.
I was listening to
We
you
did
lot.
it for so long, and we just played the same team over and over again. Like, I just find it amazing that we managed to be able to just churn out all of those results all the time with the same squad, pretty much. Like maybe 15 players in total, like in those
That means you
teams.
must be quite. That means you must be quite lucky with injuries and that. Then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go on, yeah. Sorry, mate. What are you saying?
Yeah, I think it's just to do with this Thursday Sunday thing, like all these midweek games. We're still in the Carabao Cup as well. You guys got West Ham, right? Because
West
West
Ham
Ham
at
beat
home.
Arsenal last round. Is it
Yeah,
Liverpool West
West
Ham?
Ham. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
if
So
we
we
get
got
past West Ham,
yeah.
we'll
So
probably end up with like we could end up with like a second division team because there's still a couple of lower league teams in there.
mate,
So we could end up with a good draw, and then it's basically the semi-final and final.
and both Manchester teams are out. Either us or Chelsea will be out this round.
Yeah,
And then I mean you're gonna have a big chance. But that's the thing.
that's,
That itself is too many games, mate. We got Harvey Barnes. Apparently, there's news that he may be back in training soon, but we've just got injuries for days. Luckily, Jamal Lascelles has stepped up recently. We've got quite a few good
he's been
results.
good. He's
Yeah,
been
yeah,
good.
yeah. But against Dortmund, mate, we were toothless, mate. They were just a better team, man. And I heard other Newcastle fans saying, "Oh yeah, if we had a better team, if we didn't have our injuries, mate, the result is the result." If we lose a game, I hate. The only time I'll look for excuses if we lose a game is if say we got a red card or something like that. I'll never blame a loss on this guy was injured, this guy. Unless it's like your first choice keeper. Unless you got your third choice keeper. Even if you got two centre backs missing, or mate, we beat United the other week in the Carabao Cup, and we had four fullbacks in defence. We didn't have a recognised centre back playing starting the game. We had Emil Kraft. He was out. He's been out injured for like 14 months. That was his first proper start. We had a
Wow,
second choice goalie, Dubravka. So when it comes to winning or losing games, one thing I try not to latch onto is excuses.
you battered them as well,
No.
though.
Yeah. We battered them, mate.
It's like 3-0, wasn't it?
Mate, it was beautiful, mate. Beautiful. I was having banter with
Mate,
my mates on
oh mate,
WhatsApp for the game as well.
anyone beating Man United is beautiful.
I've got some
Did you
United mates.
did you see the Copenhagen game? I watched that. That was hilarious. When Rooney scored the
Yeah,
winner,
but
he called Rooney, and they were all shouting Rooney like in the crowd.
I didn't know that.
He
I didn't
scored
know
the
that.
winner.
I didn't know that. But
Class.
yeah,
So
just made us feel a little bit better because we lost
yeah,
midweek. We
so
all lost midweek. This is just a
we
shitty
all lost.
European
We all
week.
lost. Yeah, you're right. So where were you third in the? Are you third in the Champions League?
No, we're
Group?
bottom of the group now
You're
because
bottom of the
Dortmund have
group.
just won back-to-back games. Yeah,
So what are Milan on? Milan on 4 or 3?
Milan are on. Oh, I haven't looked at the league table in a couple of days, but we're on 4. I think Milan are on 5, possibly.
Did you draw with Milan?
Yeah, we drew. I'll
Okay, so they've
check
got
the
points
table.
off you. Okay, so you're both on the same points then, aren't you?
But put it this way, Dortmund are top
They're top, aren't they? They're
because
top,
I
aren't
think
they?
they lost. I think Dortmund lost their first game. I think they've got 6 points from 2 games. I think PSG are second because they lost their last game. But yeah, it's a very open group,
They
man.
beat
It's interesting. I'm
they
enjoying
beat
it. I'm
AC
enjoying the
Milan,
ride.
didn't they? PSG, didn't they?
AC Milan won.
So they beat PSG though, didn't they? In the other
Yeah,
leg.
yeah. I'm going to
So
check
what?
the group tables
So
now.
so can you? Who have you got next? You got AC Milan, haven't you? Next. Or you got PSG again. You've only played PSG once, haven't you?
I think we got PSG next and then Milan at home. PSG away. PSG away.
Oof,
Milan at home.
you need to win that. Do you need to win both
Mate,
of
we
those,
need
or
4
can you win
points.
one of them? You need 4 points. Okay.
Man, winning PSG away with the current state of our squad is going to
That's
be a
hard.
hard, big ask.
That
I'm not too sure about
that-
that. I'm just scrolling to look at the table now.
that is hard.
It's going to be, yeah. I mean, 4 points is possible. We could get a draw
Big
against.
Camilla.
But anyway, let's talk about you guys and your rotating like 4, 5, 6 players. You got Jota, Nunez, Gakpo. I was listening to you guys yesterday. You and the other guy talking about Gakpo hasn't got a position in the team and all that.
Yeah. It's an interesting one, isn't it? It's look. I don't feel we have any issues with midfield or attack, and to a certain extent, the majority of defence. I feel like our biggest issues are formation and tactics, and what I'm concerned about is we seem to be switching from inverted to non-inverted in the middle of games, and it just seems so disjointed. It seems like the squad, the players, don't have an idea on how to play with this system. Like Trent's got too much free roll. Like his whole mindset is just like I'm vice captain now.
I want someone will cover me.
Literally, like no one's covering for you, mate. If you're not, no one's covering for you if you're going when you're not supposed to go. Sometimes the opposition's got the ball, and they can play it down the right, and he goes into midfield and just leaves the big gap behind you, and you're like, am I actually watching this? Like, is this by design? Because
I remember seeing that a lot
whoever's
last
designing
season.
it needs firing.
No, I remember seeing that a lot last season. But this whole him holding midfielder thing and all that. I remember Roberto Carlos. There were times where he used to just attack, and just get caught out. I mean, he was a great fullback, but he wasn't the best defender.
I don't think Trent is that bad at defending. I just felt like he had the Sky Sports on his back every single game. like Carragher and Neville were just like, okay, we've got some clickbait on Trent. That player scored. It's probably got nothing to do with him, but we're going to blame him anyway.
It was like that. Yeah.
Every single week, it was Trent's fault, and I think that was really unjust, because he does 85% of the other things incredibly well when he's playing as a right back. Okay.
So let me ask you this question: I know, obviously the way you guys play, but as a defender, how highly do you rate him as a defender?
If we have him in the team on the right hand side, yeah, there's that much attacking threat, and there's that much going forward in the team. We very rarely have to defend. That's how good we were. We didn't have to worry about what the opposition did. They had to worry about what we did. And having Trent on the right hand side, just bombing on and playing worldy balls to Salah, and just being a monster. Okay, put it this way. You've got a guy that's very functional and very technical, yeah, in Trippier. He's a great player, okay? His stats are off the scale. They really are. He's probably one of, I would say he's probably in the top 3 of fullbacks in the world at what he does right now. Like, he very rarely gives the ball away. His passing range is phenomenal. His crossing is phenomenal. He probably has more touches of the ball than any other player on the pitch, by the way, for you guys.
Yeah.
He's a bit like Trent. Like, when we had him as our right-sided player, like, he does those switches. Trent doesn't do switches anymore. Like, Liverpool was made on switch of play. Like, we used to break the opposition down so well down the diagonals because we switched the play so quickly that the opposition couldn't get all their team over to the other side of the pitch to cover. And that's when you had a Mane or a Firmino or a Salah just breaking into the box and having a clear-cut chance on goal. It's not happening anymore. He's not doing the switch of play. Like, Robbo still does the switch of play because Robbo still has a lot of what he does. He's still being allowed to do. But Trent, he's not wide anymore. He just comes inside. And the thing is, why did you sign McAllister and Dominic Szoboszlai if everything you're putting through the team as creativity-wise is coming from your right back, who's not in a right back position?
Yeah, but you're
Why
gonna
are you
have to
doing
mix
that?
it up. You're gonna have to rely on. You can't just rely on him all the time. It's good to have other people to rely on. If, say, he's out of form, he's injured or something.
I get last season. It got to a stage where, look, Henderson was terrible, Fabinho was terrible, Keita didn't even play, Ox didn't even play. Curtis Jones was probably our best midfielder for the last 12 games of the season, if I'm honest. Like, him and Salah kind of dragged our team into any kind of position we could. I mean, we could have got top 4 if we'd had another 1 or 2 games left, but we left it too late. But it got to a stage where somebody had to do something. Like, someone had to come into that midfield and mix things up and give us something. And it was Trent. But then you went and signed a £60 million playmaker and a £35 million playmaker who won the World Cup. You don't need Trent there. You don't need that guy there no more, unless you're going to play him as a DM, which everybody thought, okay, let's give Trent the DM role. But he tried Trent as a DM in pre-season, and he was dreadful. He's got no.
Yeah, he doesn't want to play there.
He's got no 360 awareness, like, of players around him, because he's always in space. Because the whole point in him having that right back role was for everybody else to create the space for him to then run down the wing, play in a diagonal, play a crossfield pass, play a world. He had the space to do it. So now we're doing it in our midfield, where we haven't got any space because we've got 3 midfielders in there already. Because we've got Mac there, we've got Gravenberch or Jones, and we've got Dominic Szoboszlai, and now we're throwing Trent in there as well. And Dominic Szoboszlai is like, just give me the ball. Like, watch what I can do. But he's regressed. Like, why have we signed this guy who's got 10 goals a season, 10 assists a season? Could be a potential Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, I was listening to you guys.
He's that good.
Yeah, I was listening to you guys yesterday saying the same thing, that
he's looking like Henderson.
McAllister are not playing.
He's looking like Henderson. Like, he's sideways passing.
And you guys are saying that him and Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones play well together in the team, and when he's not playing, the other one don't play well.
Yeah. And the reason why they play well, the reason why they both play well with Curtis Jones is because Curtis Jones sits, and Curtis Jones knows the system. Like, he has had it drilled into him now how to play in a Klopp midfield. Because if he didn't do that, then he wouldn't play. And the amount of times Curtis Jones tried to express himself over the years, because Curtis Jones got brought into the team when he was 18. Like, he got his debut when he was 18. He's now 22. So he's come in and out loads of times.
Mm-hmm.
But he was always taken out because it was like, well, he's not doing what he's supposed to do. But he's a very creative left-sided midfielder who could score goals and create goals. And that's what Kurt does. But now he's subdued back, and now he plays like a Gini Wijnaldum role, doesn't he? Where wins the ball a lot, wins his duels, passes the ball, keeps hold of it, dominates the play, slows things down, knows exactly what to do and not to do, and that gives Dom and Mac the confidence to go, right, okay, he's going to stay there, which means I can now go and do my thing. I can have a shot on goal.
Yeah.
I can make a run. I can try and take someone on.
Mhm.
I can try and get that ball through to Salah. You know what I mean? And you're throwing Trent into that as well. Like, what are those two guys doing
It's
now?
just traffic. Everyone, people running into
Too much
each other.
traffic. You're absolutely right, mate. Can you imagine playing all of your midfielders? Can you imagine playing all of your? You can imagine playing your Willocks and your Tonali's and your Guimaras and your Longstaff all on top of each other in midfield. Sorry, and your Joelingtons all on top of each other in midfield. Who can control that midfield with all those players in there? You're
There's always
literally
someone
next
that
to
wants
each other,
more touches on the ball all the time and all that.
mate. Exactly. And you want more runners. Like, if you've got runners, then that takes the opposition backwards, which means that it creates more space for you to go forward.
Mhm.
But we haven't got any runners now. Everybody cuts inside. Like, Diaz never takes the man on. Salah doesn't take the man on anymore. You know, and they don't take the man on because they haven't got Trent or Robbo making those runs, which then makes the opposition
Open
go,
up the
I need
space.
to follow him.
So you're saying you guys are playing too narrow these days?
Too
Is that what you're
narrow.
saying?
Too narrow. If you look at Luton's got the narrowest pitch in the Premier League. I mean, we play narrow on a narrow pitch. Like, can you imagine how bad that was? Like,
So,
you
hold
play
on.
wide. Like, you play wide. Like, I've seen how you play. Like you have players that bomb on. Like, and it's great. And Livermorento is going to be something special, mate, for you.
Yeah, he did well
He
against City
He's
and
a good
United.
player. I really wanted him, like.
And do you know, I bet Chelsea regret letting him go.
Mate, the amount of players that are not at Chelsea, like Salah, De Bruyne. I mean, Chelsea must be sat there now thinking, why didn't we keep Lukaku? Like, we've got no one who can score goals. Like, Lukaku was a goal scorer. Like, love him or hate him, mate. You get him the ball, he scores goals. Like,
Yeah, but he became a sulk though, isn't he? He started believing his hype too much. He thought the team
he was really good. He was really good. He was signed for 100 million because
No, Lukaku's good. Obviously,
he was
of course
worth 100
good,
million when they signed him.
But like, you know, in strikers, do you feel strikers just feel like, right, just set me up and then I'll score? You're still a team member. Just because you score goals, you still have to play well.
I feel like Chelsea just have a knack of destroying players. Like I'm sorry, but Morata is a really good player. Like, he was at Chelsea. Like, he did nothing at Chelsea. Like, Alvaro Morata is a really good player. Like, he's brilliant for Spain. He's brilliant for his club. Like he was at Chelsea for like 2 years. Did nothing.
Like, in fact, I was watching.
They destroyed Torres. Like, Sterling's not really looking like a great player anymore.
Yeah,
like,
but to be
runs
fair,
into blind alleys, doesn't really shoot that much.
Yeah, but to be fair, Torres went to Chelsea when he was like injured. You sold him as like a not fully fit player.
Yeah, we got 50 million for him. You can't turn that down. Like,
that was a good deal for you lot. For a player who's on his decline, that's good money.
Yeah. I mean, he did win the Champions League for Chelsea. Like, fair play to him. Scored the winner as well, didn't he? Scored the goal.
Yeah. But this whole midweek thing, the injuries, it's really starting to catch up with us, man. So I think.
Do you want to talk about Tonali?
Oh, the whole ban, the scandal. Not specifically.
Do you think AC Milan? Do you think AC Milan did you over?
Put it this way. In terms of, I don't see it as blaming Milan or accusing them, because what do you expect them to say? I mean, the contract is, this is the player, this is his terms. What are they supposed to say?
No, but like
we're not selling.
They sold their best player, and everyone wondered why. And now it looks like, well, they knew he had a They knew he had a 2-year ban coming up or a year ban coming up. Like, that's why.
Maybe. Either way, I don't
Because
blame them.
what he
It's the
done is he
players.
broke the law in Italy. He didn't break the law in
Yes,
the UK, which is
yeah,
weird.
but to me, I don't see why the narrative would be, oh, it's Milan's fault. It's
No.
between
I'm
it's the player.
It's not Milan's fault. No, it's not Milan's fault.
It's the player who made the mistake. It's not
Yeah.
the club's fault that the player broke the law. It's the player's fault. So
Yeah.
why should Milan sit there?
I might get someone on later on, gang and mate. Just bear with us, buddy. All right.
Yeah, you can get whoever you want. I don't mind. To be honest, I probably can't stay for too long. Actually, I might have to jump off in about 10, 15 or something.
It is a striker's graveyard. You're right, Vase of Flowers. Yeah. So, and the thing about that as well is, didn't his mate bubble him up? Didn't his mate snitch on him? The other guy that was in the group, he got caught, and then he went, oh, yeah, but it wasn't just me; it was all of these as well.
Oh, yeah. Stuff people do stuff like that.
Yeah, because there was like 3 of them, and they were all in the international team, weren't they?
Yeah.
But
you know the laws in Italy are slightly different because
he's
Tonali's still allowed to train with the squad, whereas Ivan Toney is not allowed.
Yeah. You think Toney will go to? Do you think he'll be sold to Arsenal? I think it'd be good for you, Ivan Toney. I think
but when he's not coming to us though. He's not coming to us.
He'd be good for you though.
He's not coming to us though. It's all for now. It's all paper. He could stay till the end of the season. You never know. It's not a guarantee he's going to leave in January.
He'd be good for Arsenal. They need a striker.
Tottenham as well need a striker. A lot of teams need a striker.
Yeah, we've got loads.
yeah.
We've got loads.
But like, you're still not happy though. Imagine how many teams around have got a lot of attacking options and still not happy.
I'm okay. Like, I mean, I kind of expected Nunes to miss sitters. Like, it's just, I think it's quite natural to him. Like, I think if you're a striker and you shoot that many times, like he shoots 5 times every game minimum at goal, and he normally hits the target like the majority of them. It's just like, I wish he was a bit more like Ian Rush or Robbie Fowler, where I get you want to have a shot and I get you want the headlines, but just get it in the goal. Like,
what I
get
think
it past the goalkeeper. Stop trying to hit the goal of the season every single shot. Like, just make sure it goes in. Like, I don't care if it's a P roller or it bobbles in. Like, some of his shots, he hits them that hard, and with the laces that hard, that if you miss-hit it, it goes in. But you hit it too hard, and the goalie saves it. Like, that's the biggest problem. Lukaku does that, by the way. Lukaku does that a lot. Just hits the goalie all the time.
So are you saying he relies on like power rather than actual like precision when it comes to his shots? Is he like a finesse shooter, or is he just a power shooter?
I don't know about the finesse shooting thing. It's more about.
In fact, I saw him. I was watching Match of the Day the other day. He had a good shot. He can score goals shots from outside the box.
Yeah.
So he has got it in his locker.
Well, against Luton, he had about three shots from outside the box. Like, they were all relatively easy saves, but the one where all he's got to do is tap it in the net.
Oh, I remember that.
Literally just tap it in. You're literally a yard out.
Mate, that is probably miss of the season.
It's a miss of the season. Oh, I mean, I don't know. I think Haaland missed one which was on the line.
Well, it's
literally on the line. They're close, like. I just think that's going to happen with him. I really do. I think he's going to miss a lot of chances, but he's also going to score a lot of chances. I just think. Yeah. I just think that is it. Like Salah missed just as good an opportunity before him. Like all you got to do is just head it into an open net, Salah, and it came off the side of his head and went wide.
But,
and I just think.
But listen,
that, like,
I've just
I just
like
think that we've got Jota. Like we've got Jota. He's always going to score. He's always going to score, Jota.
Jota's
So
a good squad utility
plenty.
player.
I think Jota should be
He
starting on the left all the time, mate.
I'll tell you what I like about Jota. I'll tell you what I think of Jota. He's not just a utility player, but he can rotate with Diaz and he can rotate with Nunes. He can play both positions.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Even on, mate, I can't lie.
Play all the time.
On FIFA, he scores me goals. When I start him on my FIFA team, when I play sometimes, he does score goals. So he's got it in his locker.
He had a record, which I found out today, where he's okay. So in 38 games that he scored, we've never lost.
Okay.
38 games. 38 games that Jota scored, we've never lost until Toulouse. and there's only one player. There's only one player at Liverpool that's done more than that, and that's Steve Nicol, who's done 39 goals and never lost. So he was almost about to go level with Steve Nicol for that record, which is an insane record. Like it is an insane record.
Wow.
Like,
so tell me, like, just interestingly, there's a topic that springs to my head here that, like, I just feel like bringing it up. So apparently I heard, is it either today or yesterday, that Maddison is injured?
Yeah, he's out for a while.
How long is he out for?
I think it's like 2 months.
Oh, okay. So the question
Gravenberch is out for a bit as well. He's got a knee injury.
Okay.
And Curtis Jones is out till after the internationals now with a hamstring.
Yeah. So what was on my mind for me, what was just top of mind, I thought was an interesting thing to bring up is what do you think of, like, obviously Spurs lost to Chelsea on the weekend, but like they've been riding high. They've just lost their first game. Now they've got an injury. Where do you see them? Where do you see Spurs in, say, like 10 games time?
Like, I think the thing about Spurs, and I said this a while ago. I said this on a couple of other shows as well. I always felt they were like 1 or 2 injuries away from like drawing and losing games. Like I felt like if they lost their defender, whether it was Van der Ven or the other guy who's just really rash, Romero.
Yeah,
I felt like if they lost one, one of those,
they've lost them both. You know that.
I know they lost both. I know they lost both.
Van der Ven got a hamstring.
Van der Ven's out for 3 months, I reckon. That was a proper snap. Like, did you see it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
you see that was a proper snap. That's bad. That's really bad.
Yeah.
And Romero, I mean, Romero probably should have been sent off before he was sent off. Did you see the first one?
Mate, he was in my fantasy football team, man.
-4 I got, and -4 for a doggy as well. I did. I got absolutely rinsed.
Mate, imagine if last week, imagine having Jeremy Doku, who got like 4 assists and a goal or whatever, or 3 goals and 3 assists.
Did anyone put Jeremy Doku in any of their teams?
I'm sure people did, but imagine if you captained him.
I know. I had Salah when he scored 2 as my like triple captain. But I did like a what's it called, where you do a complete team refresh?
A wild card.
I did a wild card like just before the Romero and the doggy game. Yeah. I had Maddison, Romero, and a doggy in my team.
Yeah.
Ended up with nothing, and I had Darwin Núñez as well. He missed that sitter.
Yeah.
But what was I going to say? Yeah, and it was also a case of if they lose Maddison, then they're screwed. Like they got no creativity without him, and
because they've already got
one of those centre backs is a big miss. So I think
put it this way: they've already got Son playing up front.
Man United next, haven't they, or Arsenal?
I'm not sure. I haven't checked this weekend's fixtures. All I know.
They've got some big games. They've only played us like as a big team, like Tottenham.
Yeah.
Did they play you yet?
No, we haven't played them yet. No.
So they've only played really us as a top team, and they obviously beat us, but that was very controversial, as you know.
Yeah.
Like like after that game now, any tackle that's like a Curtis Jones tackle doesn't get a red card. like what? Crazy.
It's mad.
So where do you think you'll finish then?
To be fair, I think where we're going right now is I'm thinking about I don't know. I need to see how long Isak's out for, because we're already short. We dabbled whether to get like a third choice or someone young. We'll in January we were looking at João Pedro from Watford, and now obviously he's fitted in well at Brighton. We were looking at him in the last January window, but we turned him down. Whatever.
Mate, that kid they got, Ferguson, he's got a £45 million release clause.
Yeah, Brighton. But someone like him has to you have to play him to develop him. You have to play him as a first or second choice. We almost need a second or third already.
Right now, scored 10 goals this season.
He scored a hat trick against us.
He's banging them in, mate. He's their first team striker now. Like João Pedro's not their first team striker now. Ferguson is. He's banging them in, and he looks like he's getting better. Like he'd be great for yous.
Yeah, he will.
He'd be great for yous. I mean, to be fair, Gordon hasn't done that bad, really, has he?
Yeah, he's a slow starter. We signed him in January, but yeah, I predicted in pre-season that he's going to have a good start to the season. But I think the whole.
I mean, he's been chucked into like striker role, hasn't he now? Like he had for Everton when they were fighting relegation. And he kind of threw him up top just as like a last resort because they've got loads of injuries.
Yes, because we're
kind of doing the same thing.
It's because we're a striker short. If we had, I mean, Wilson's injured now. Isak hopefully is back in 2 weeks, but yeah, we don't want Gordon playing there.
What about the Aussie lad? What's happened to him?
Aussie lad.
Qual.
Oh, Goran Qual. Oh yeah, he's on loan.
Or is he on loan?
I think he's
doing okay.
He's at Hearts, and we've got another young. Sorry.
Is he scoring?
Yeah, I haven't tracked his results lately, to be fair, but I think both of those loans may have recall clauses. But those guys are not ready to go into the first. Mate, we played Lewis Miley, 17-year-old, against Dortmund.
He's a good player, by the way. He turns out to be a really good player on Football Manager.
Yeah, but that's a sign.
I'm England manager on season 4 on Football Manager, and guess who's in my England squad?
Who?
In midfield?
Who?
Lewis Miley.
How long have you been England manager for?
I've been England manager for about 6 months. So I've just been playing the Nations League. So I've just qualified. I've got Slovenia, Holland, and Switzerland in my group. Yeah, I've got if I got in my team, you know what I'm like on Football Manager. I always play the kids. My England team is. I've got a couple of internationals, so I've got Ashley Phillips at the back. You know, the guy who plays for Tottenham, the kid.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, Ashley Phillips. So I'm in year 2026. So I've got Jude Bellingham in midfield. I've got Ashley Phillips, Lewis Miley, who's 20 in my midfield.
How many stats has he got? Has he got plus 15?
So first touch 16, technique 16, passing 15, long shots 14, which is really good. Dribbling 14, natural fitness 14, pace 14, strength 13, decisions 14, flair 14. He's a real all-rounder, mate. He plays centre mid, and he plays attacking midfield, and he's competent on the left and the right, on the wing. He doesn't play for Newcastle in this.
Well, they sold him.
He plays for. can't freaking see. Oh yeah, he does play for Newcastle. Sorry, yeah, he's worth 27 million when he's 17,
cool.
but he's good. And I've got Luke Harris as well in my team. You know, the guy who plays for Fulham.
Right. So,
He's
so
really good as well.
So what about you guys? Have you got any guys? You got any plans for like January? Potentially looking at signing anyone? Or?
So we're looking at so we're linked with Florian Wirtz, who plays for Xabi Alonso's team, by Leverkusen.
Yeah, apparently they've got some decent players, Leverkusen.
Yeah,
That Mitchell Bakker, that left back, we were linked to them, I think, in January or last summer. Leverkusen are meant to be. They just sold Diaby
top of the league,
and they're still doing well. Diaby was probably their best player.
Yeah, top of the league, top of their group in Europe as well.
Mate, if you sell your best player and you're having a good season, that means you're a good team.
They sold two of their best players. They sold their striker as well, because they bought another striker called I think his name's Benefonte. He's Ghanaian or something like that. He's an African player, Ghana or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's sensational. He signed him from Spain for like 4 million. Like he's scored loads of goals.
You can't
They've got loads of good players like Tapose. They sold him. He was their best
centre back. Yeah, I've heard of him.
He was their best centre back. He's gone to Leipzig.
Yeah,
like,
I've seen him.
They sold some good players as well. They've still got the Dutch international player, Frimpong. Still got him. He's their right back. He's brilliant. Yeah, mate. They're doing really well. Like they're doing really well. They've got Svanberg, who's like Danish, and
right.
Jesper. They had a Jesper Nielsen or something like that.
Who does that strike?
They sold him as well.
There's a striker called Patrick Schick. Who does he play for? Is it Leverkusen or someone else?
I don't know. I think he played for Leverkusen, but he played for Xabi's team last year when they nearly got relegated, and then he took over. But I think he was injured, so they might have sold him. You know, I don't. I'm not really following them, to be honest, mate. The only person I'm following really is Kane, just because he's always on Sky Sports. Like they always show the highlights on Sky Sports.
Do you think? Let me ask you this question: do you think Man United made a mistake not signing Kane? Because they would have had to pay a lot for him. They would have had to pay a lot, and obviously he's 31. Does it make good business sense paying 100 mil for him, 2-3 years, no resale value, or do you know what I mean?
I don't know about Man United because what seems to happen with Man United is they get a manager and he has like a kick, you know, he has like this boost, and the first season is normally good, but then the next season is just back to square one and they're crap, and they will be. You know what I mean? Like Oli was the same. Jose Mourinho was the same. Van Gaal was the same. Ten Hag's the same. They have like this. Moyes didn't get a chance, to be fair. Jesper Lindstrom, that's the guy I'm talking about. Someone's just said it in the chat. They sold him. Like he sold him to Napoli. He was linked with us. Like he is a brilliant player, and they sold him. Like they literally lost 4 or 5 of their first team players, and they just. It does prove though that if you keep on refreshing the team with the right players, even though you get rid of your good players, you can still get better. Like there is a way of doing it. Like there's so many teams that have a way of doing it.
Yeah.
Like Harry Kane Bayern Munich, it's a match made in heaven, mate. They create so many chances for strikers.
Mate, listen, I was playing.
They just do. They've got so
Mate.
many dangerous players in midfield.
Mate, I'll tell you one thing. I was playing FIFA with the other week, about 2 weeks ago, and I picked Bayern. I was just thinking, what team should I pick? And I thought, do you know what? Bayern, he's actually the miss in terms of FIFA. He's their Lewandowski, because FIFA's got a couple of buttons. If you double tap them, it will give you like finesse through ball. Mate,
Mhm.
Kane is the truth for Bayern. Not only in FIFA but in real life, he's looking like. I don't see him dropping off. Like these are his levels. You got players that are just on form, and then they'll drop off for 4 or 5 games, score a few more goals. I don't think this is Kane. I think that's his level, mate.
The thing about it, though, if you actually watch, he misses loads of chances. He still misses loads of chances. That is how many shots and chances they create. Like, he still misses chances.
Yep.
Like, what you're watching, you're not watching him.
From.
Like, you're not watching him like hit 5 out of 5. You're watching him hit like 2 out of 10. Like, they create so much. It's insane. It's just insane.
Like, I'll tell you what I do think though. When I think of like Kane and Haaland, I don't think to myself as a comparison who's a better striker. I just don't look at it like that. I don't. You know what I mean? I don't see those two as I don't see them as compatriots. Yes, they're both good players, but Kane is 30. He's like what 5-6 years older than Haaland. You know what I mean? I'd rather compare Haaland with someone like Mbappe.
Isn't Haaland 22?
I don't know how old he is, but I don't.
I think he's 20. I think he's only 22, mate. Seriously.
All right,
he's like 9 years younger than Kane.
All right. Let me ask you this question. Let me articulate better what I was trying to say.
Oh, what, is Kane 31 or 33?
No, he's not. He's not 30. I think he's 31.
Oh, is he? Okay, he's 7 years then.
Put it this way: do you think comparing Haaland and Kane is relevant? Because yes, they're probably the two best strikers around, but to me, it's the comparison is not relevant because Kane is like. I mean,
they play the same. They do play the same. No, they don't. They don't play the same. Kane creates a lot. Like, he's all rounder. Like you could throw Kane in your midfield, and
Kane's an all round footballer.
Probably still get loads of assists.
Kane's an all round footballer.
Yeah, I don't think Haaland is. Haaland's a flat track bully. Like, he's that guy in the box who just, like, he's deadly. He's absolutely deadly. Like, he's like a robot. Like, but if you throw a Haaland, so say you signed Haaland and not Man City, would Haaland have scored 50 goals for you?
Well, he's getting different levels of service, so it's a hard question to ask.
Exactly. So you'd have to completely reinvent the way you play your football, which is pretty much what Man City did.
All right. Let me ask. All right.
I'm just going to answer Mineral's question. No, I've never been an Everton fan. I never even thought about supporting them, and nobody from my family does either. Okay.
All right. Let me tell you this. Put it this way. Haaland can't do what Kane does in terms of being a complete footballer, dropping off. But if Kane was just more selfish and just didn't bother the whole build-up play, being a complete footballer, do you think he would score as many goals as Haaland? He probably would.
Yeah. I mean, if he'd have gone to Man City, would he have scored 50 goals for Man City? I think he'd have got 40. I think he'd have got 40. I think he would have got 40. But Kane's got an injury in him as well, remember? Kane's got that dodgy ankle. And a lot of Premier League players know.
All right.
He's got that ankle.
Put it this way. Kane getting service from De Bruyne.
Poor.
You know what I mean? You can't tell me, Kane will miss a lot of those chances. No. Kane will put those chances away.
Yeah, he'd have a million tap-ins, wouldn't he?
Exactly.
million tap-ins. He's an incredible player, mate. You know, if Klopp would have signed Kane, I can't imagine how good we would have been.
Yeah, but he was never available, so you know,
He would have been absolutely incredible in the Bobby Firmino role, Kane. He really would. Like,
have you ever seen a player go from Tottenham to Liverpool? I'm not saying it can't happen. I know Danny
Corker, Stephen Corker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he went from Tottenham to Liverpool. There was another guy as well, a goalkeeper called Ving something, and there was another guy as well. We signed 2 Tottenham players at the same time, a defender and a goalkeeper, but I can't remember who they were. They're both crap. Like,
By the way,
didn't we sign Ziegler? Christian
that
Ziegler
defender
from Tottenham.
that German defender.
Or did he go from? Did he go from Liverpool to Tottenham?
Don't know. I know.
Because I remember him playing for both.
Yeah, I know. What's it? Danny Murphy played for Spurs?
Yeah, Danny Murphy. But he went to. Did he go from us to Spurs, then to Fulham, or did he go from us to Fulham to Spurs?
I don't know. I don't know. He's good on Match of the Day, though. I know you don't really watch Match of the Day.
We signed Danny Murphy from Crewe. From Crewe Alexandra.
Right, okay.
Yeah, we signed Danny Murphy from Crewe Alexandra. Oh yeah, Neil Ruddock. Yeah, Ziegler and Neil Ruddock.
Played for Spurs?
Yeah, Neil Ruddock.
He played for Spurs?
Yeah, he also played for West Ham.
Yeah, I think I remember that. I didn't know he played for Spurs, though.
Yeah, I think we signed him from Spurs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll tell you a little story about Neil Ruddock. The best game I've ever been to in my life, football-wise, was a game we played against Manchester United, and it was 3-3 at Anfield, and we went 3-0 down in the 37th minute.
Wow.
Dennis Irwin scored two free kicks, and I think it was Ryan Giggs or Mark Hughes or maybe Lee Sharp, one of those players scored the third, and we were completely dead and buried, like second half, and we equalised in the 94th minute, and it was a Neil Ruddock header from a corner, and I was in the cop, and it was at our end, and it was voted the best game at Anfield ever at the time. Obviously, Barcelona 4-0 is Real Madrid like 5-1. Like,
when they had Suarez, isn't it? When they beat 3-0
there's been some crazy games since that, but that was the best.
Game.
That was the best game. Like, that was the season when Man United I think they won the double.
Right.
Yeah, they were just ridiculous.
Right.
Oh no, it wasn't Giggs. It was Scholes who scored. I also went to the game where Paul Scholes scored 2 goals in like the 90th minute and the 93rd minute to beat us.
Yeah. What I want to ask you actually, what's happened to Baz and the other guy?
Paul Stewart. Sorry, yeah, Paul Stewart was a Tottenham player.
Right. Okay.
Crap.
What's happened to? Do you remember we used to do the pods about 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago? What's happened to Baz and the other?
Baz had Baz had like a major operation on his back.
Oh right.
But he's all right now. I did a show recently with him on Quasi's channel. It was after the Luton game, I think. Straight after Luton game, it was like 7 o'clock at night, I think, after Luton game. I did a show with Quasi and Baz was on it. 12th Man's got his own channel now, so he does a lot of stuff himself. You know, the guy with the dreads. And who's the other guy?
Right.
Who's the other guy? Albert. I had Albert on my last show. Like, he came on.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, he came on at the last 20 minutes of my last show when I was talking about is this Pep Linder's team or is this Klopp's?
Yeah.
Like, I'm still convinced Pep Linder's is picking the tactics. Like,
really?
I'm still convinced.
You sure? To be honest, you
Yeah.
sound like you're going to a whole load of politics, man. I'm not sure about that, bro.
Look, Klopp has never done the inverted at any club he's been at. Never. Right? He's never done it. He didn't do it at Dortmund, didn't do it at Mainz.
Yeah,
Never
managers
never
change.
done it for
Managers
Liverpool.
try different things. Managers try
If
different
Klopp's-
things.
If we know anything, Klopp does not change. He just never changes. So
Yeah, but
it felt like last season. It got to a stage where he had to listen to other people. Like he had to listen to other people because it just wasn't working.
so hold on.
And
Let me.
Linders came up with this Dutch way. Like it's how. Yeah, go on.
What you're saying right there is very interesting because something just sprang to mind to me. Do you think maybe someone pulled him aside after a few results and think, look, listen, man, just you're being a bit too stubborn. Like the way you are in the media sometimes. Because let's be honest, last season I used to like Klopp, but to me, last season, I know he was a bit. He had digs at Newcastle, so I'm not just saying it because of that.
That was pointless. That
He had times where he was, to me, yes, he had digs at us, and I was salty about that. But to me, he just came across as like just he was being salty last year, and to me, he was being a dick. He was being a dick to me because he was a dick to us, Newcastle. But
he was a dick to everyone, mate. Seriously,
do you think his own coaching staff pulled him aside and was like, "Do you know what, Gaffer? Like, yeah, we're all with you in that, but I think like you're being a bit too stubborn. Like, do you think one of his own said that?
I think the owners came over because they came over for the West Ham and the Bournemouth game, and I think he was given his like the vote of confidence thing, like look, we believe in you. However, we need to start showing it. Like I believe he was told, if you didn't start changing things, then his job was under jeopardy because we were already so far down in the league. I think we were like 8th or 9th or like back then, that it was a case of they were going to lose near enough 100 million in revenue from Champions League, not being in Champions League or not being in Europe. Like, and money matters to FSG. It always has.
But when you're in that position in the league, how many games into the season was it?
10 it was halfway.
Games.
No, it was halfway
through the season.
It was halfway through the season. It was about game 14. Yeah. It was about game 14. We had West Ham.
Game week 14. There's plenty of time to turn that around.
We had West Ham away, which we drew. Or did we win? I can't remember whether we beat them now. Did we beat? I'm going to ask the chat. Did we beat West Ham away last season, or was that a draw? Can you let me know? I think we won that game. I think West Ham capitulated. Anyway, and then because we had two away games, so we didn't go back to Liverpool, so we stayed in London. So we had West Ham, and then we went to Bournemouth, and we lost. Yeah, we did. So we did. Big up Minerals. So we did beat them. So we beat West Ham at their ground, and the owners were there, and nobody knew that the owners were going to be there. And then they went to the next game, which was at Bournemouth, and we lost. And Bournemouth were bottom of the table when we lost, and we were terrible. We were really bad, and that was with that was with Virgil in the team as well. And I genuinely believe he was told, right, you need to change stuff. You need to start changing things, because if you don't, we're going to sack you. I genuinely believe, because as soon as we came back to Liverpool, that was when the inverted started. That was when Trent started moving into midfield, and we started changing the game, and there was a lot more substitutions. There was a lot more fixing of players and moving them around, and keeping Robbo a bit more deeper, and we won games. Like, we weren't great, but we won games.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
So
man. Do you know? I'm
when was
gonna
the
jump.
Bournemouth game? Was the Bournemouth game before West Ham? Because they were at the Bournemouth game as well. Sorry, mate.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I
so
was just gonna
I
say,
believe
man.
that. I believe that happened. I believe that happened.
Yeah, it could. I wouldn't rule it out, but
I don't.
I was just interested to know.
I don't see anything changing now though, because like we're third in the table. We're not really that far off anyone. We're top of the Europa League. We're in the cup against West Ham. You know, we win that, we're into the quarters. There's a really good chance of winning that. A lot of big teams are out. Like it could be Chelsea, it could be Newcastle in the final. Really, if I'm honest, that's a cup you really want to win, you know, mate.
Yeah, but to be fair, for you lot, you just want to get back in the top four. I'm sure
You're
you're not.
literally 4 games away from winning that cup,
Yeah,
and that'll be your first cup since when?
yeah. But our squad is stretched though. We can't handle more games. We just the way we're going on now. We need to limp to January and look at a couple of loan. You don't have to just buy. You know
No.
the whole loan option to buy is a decent option. You don't have to rush to buy a player. There are teams that are willing to negotiate packages, but not a lot. So you can loan some with an option to buy, and if they don't perform, then that's it.
But you look at who did yeah, Brighton. Brighton got Ansu Fati on loan.
Yeah, yeah. He doesn't really play though. I haven't seen
No,
him.
well, who's he going to get in for though, mate? Like Matoma's really playing well, and you got Ferguson knocking the goals in, and you got
You got
Adringa,
Pedro, Danny Welbeck,
Adringa's really good as
Lalana,
well.
Lalana.
He scored
They're
he
a
scored 2
decent
at
team, man.
Ajax. Adringa
They
scored
are
2
a
at
decent
Ajax.
team.
They are, mate.
They got decent options, but
He's a good manager.
yeah, he is. He is. But yeah, man. So when's your next pod? You see the guy you're on with yesterday. You two, that was a good pod, man. When you two next jumping on together, man? I want to
Oh,
listen.
mate, we do pods like every couple of days, me and him.
Yeah, that was a good pod.
Yeah, we work really well together. Like we complement each other quite well in the pods. We always get about 150 people concurrently online all the time, which is good. Yeah, it's like I enjoy doing the shows with him. Like we get a lot of interaction with the chat. Yeah, he's
What
good.
about? Are you still doing it? Didn't you used to do?
I'm doing
like,
one on Thursday. I'll be doing one on Thursday.
Didn't you used to do a couple of like Twitter streams as well?
No. I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter, mate.
Or you might have joined someone's Twitter podcast, or not
No.
just a podcast not known as Twitter, because a lot of people do Twitter.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that do spaces, don't they?
Yeah, I know people that do Twitter podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do Quasi TV, Quasi Bowl TV. I do his every match reaction, like after the game.
What happened to that? What happened to that American dude? Do you remember when we were?
Yeah, he's I think he's in the chat actually. In the chat, let me have a look.
Do you remember we were comparing Newcastle?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. Goes a bit mad. Yeah.
Albert's here. Good discussions.
Albert's here. Let's get Albert on.
We had some good discussions, man.
Hang on, let me get Albert on, mate. 2 secs.
Who's Albert?
Uncle Albert.
Oh, yeah. If he's
you know. I'll get him on with you. Hang on. Stay on for a little bit longer. Hang on. Let me get Albert. Yeah, let me just. There you go. Albert can get in. There you go. Let me see if he wants to get in. He might not. He might be driving. Yeah, so yeah, I still do a couple of shows. Yeah, he's here. Oh, dude, good t-shirt.
Hey, K-Mac, how are you?
I'm good. You've met Seb before, haven't you?
Yeah,
Yep.
hi. How you doing?
Yeah.
Good, how you, bro?
Good, man. Good.
Watching a
Oh,
rerun
got
of
minerals on as well.
Blackburn and Preston North End.
Yeah, man.
No VAR.
They got minerals.
Very, very nice.
Yeah, man, big up, man. Yeah, VAR is full of wrongness. It has destroyed the game pretty much, and the referees on it. But big up Albert, bro. It's been a while, man.
Hi, Minerals, how are you?
I'm good, bro. I've been asking myself this question, like, because me, I'm an Arsenal fan, right? And I hate and like Liverpool at the same time, but there's just this question I ask myself is that why you choose like Liverpool? Because for me, that's glory hunter behavior, man. You know, what I mean, I bet you only started supporting Liverpool K because they win, right?
No, I'm from Liverpool.
I know you're from
I'm a
Liverpool,
Scouser.
but
I'm a Scouser.
I
I've
know.
always been a Liverpool fan from like I used to
You're not a glory hunter,
no. I went in the cop when I was a kid. Like
even when Liverpool were shit.
Yeah. I was there when Roy Evans was there. I was going to games with Roy Evans. I was in the crowd. And we started chanting at the Bristol game that Graham Souness resigned the next day when we got beat 2-1 at Anfield. I was in the crowd chanting.
Got rid of
I was in the crowd
Souness, man.
chanting Souness out. Do you remember that, Albert?
That's glory hunter behavior.
Do you remember that, Albert?
Minerals, Souness destroyed our team. Souness is responsible for the reason why we didn't win the Premier League for 30 years.
30 years.
Respect Souness, bro. He's a
mate.
Liverpool man.
He got rid of all the big players.
You weren't born. Just listen to us. We know the history. We've lived it. Souness got rid of all the players. See, his problem with the team was that the players were players he played with. So he didn't feel like he could get their respect. So he got rid of them. When he got rid of them, he brought in players like McManaman and Robbie Fowler.
No, guys. So I just want to say one thing. We know this year, but like you said, 30 years. Like, how can you blame one man for 30 years worth of not winning trophies?
Because
legend,
I'll tell you why.
30 years is a long time, bro.
I'll tell you why. A team needs to be refreshed, like basically, for want of a better word, like you flush a toilet. You flush it over. You don't just gut the whole team, just chuck everybody out and start afresh. Because the players he brought in, like Robbie Fowler, like McManaman and Co., they weren't bad players, but they weren't ready.
They were kids.
Right.
But you can't blame him though, because Man United are on the
No, I blame him. He should slowly have turned.
United had more money than you, bro.
Listen,
we won the league. We won the league 2 years in a row with Dalglish before.
Exactly.
But it wasn't the Premier League. So it sort of just continued. And he had all of the players to do that. But he got rid of them all. He got rid of Ian Rush. Ian Rush was still banging them in.
Got rid of Ian Rush, Sammy Lee. I mean, name it. He got rid of everybody.
Yeah.
Didn't Ian Rush, it wasn't Graham Souness in the first edition of the Premier League, and I saw that Ian Rush was there. He scored the next Man United.
He just didn't think he could gain their respect. That was a mistake, because Kenny Dalglish came in. He was player manager. In fact, Kenny Dalglish was playing. There was one season where we needed to win a match. Kenny Dalglish was on the bench. He went to wear his jersey. He came and scored the goal that gave us the title. So he could have rolled it over if he wanted to.
But yeah, man. But then my thing is, for me, Liverpool, like some of their fans I respect them, but some others I don't, because they started coming back to Liverpool and they're good.
It doesn't matter, bro.
I think that's the same with any club. Like, I do think that's the same with any club. You do get a lot of glory hunters. I I feel like when Liverpool under Klopp challenged and won trophies, I just think our fans are so humble about that. Like we are so happy about that, and that is such a big deal to us. Like, but I do think that we're too forgiving for failures because we've had so many failures. And I do think if Jurgen's going to be at the club, like for the rest of his contract, he's going to be at the club for 10 years. And if we've only won the title once in 10 years, that's just not good enough.
He deserves to.
Sorry.
He's your greatest ever Premier League manager, bro.
Are you serious?
Premier League.
Keep quiet.
Premier League.
Oh,
Premier
Premier
League.
League. Okay. Premier League.
That's why I said Premier League, because
Yeah.
Albert was about to hit the roof.
Yeah, I was just about to jump on you, but you are right. But you see, if you say that that's our greatest ever Premier League, then therein lies the problem itself. That a team like Liverpool that has won 6 European titles is saying that we've won one Premier League in 10 years, and somehow or the other, that's cool. When some people have won it 7 times, some people have won it God knows how many times. I mean,
But come on, bro. We have Man City in this league, bro, and they cheat.
you can't say that.
I'm not saying.
Nothing has been proven against them. And you see,
Sorry, I don't mean by the cheat. I mean that
let's put this Man City thing in perspective. Man City are not going anywhere. Get it straight. They are not going anywhere. The worst that will happen to them is a fine. So let's just can that right now. You know what I'm saying?
Clubs that get done for breaking financial rules just end up having to pay more money.
Yeah, they just
That's the whole thing in the first place.
Besides, let's be honest. What are they going to do? Take away their titles and give them to us? We get 3, but I mean, how would I feel if I go and collect? It's like eating leftover food, man. I don't want it.
Not for me.
No, I don't want
Think about it, Minerals. The thing about it, Minerals, is Liverpool didn't lose the league to Man City. Liverpool lost the league to Bournemouth away, or Brentford, or Crystal Palace.
And Crystal Palace. We were 3-0 ahead against Crystal Palace, and we came to draw.
We lost the league to shit teams. We lost the league to low block.
All right. You guys, tell me this: how do you lot see the whole, like, if there is to be a title race now? I know you guys are talking about 3-4 seasons ago, and it was about 3-4 seasons ago, and it was Liverpool, Man City going head to head. How do you guys see it now with Arsenal being decent? Who else? Newcastle are okay, but we're not challenging for the league.
Yeah, you still need to keep your feet on the ground, Newcastle. But yeah,
no. But what I'm saying is, like, not what I said is, where do you see the Liverpool fans see Arsenal as their competition? Like, do you like accept that Liverpool, Arsenal, as good as you, or do you think Arsenal have just had a good season? Because I know
Arsenal had one good season.
All right, okay. So what I'm trying to say is, I think some Liverpool fans have, like, I think they find it. So tell me, like, Albert, are Arsenal as good as? Are you guys still better than Arsenal? Do they just have a good season, or how do you rate it?
My
are
answer,
they your competition?
My answer to you is I think I will probably be able to answer you after Christmas.
No, but just in general,
after Christmas.
Look what
Arsenal are a good team.
Yeah, we finished above you last season.
There is a difference between having a good team and having a team that has the strength in depth to compete over 38 games. I'll give you a simple example. Today, you've heard that Maddison is out, Van der Ven is out, Romero is out for 3 games. Somebody else is out for Spurs. That's it. Spurs are done. Like, finish. They're done.
And Doggy.
Udogi is out. They're done.
They're in the woods, man.
Yeah, they're done. So that's the difference between having a team that can compete. Put out 3 or 4 Man City players, they'll still compete and win. Put out 3
Yeah,
or
they'll
4
still win.
Liverpool players,
Yeah.
still compete and win.
Can I say something, Albert? Your point is relevant. Yeah. What I would like to know is, Arsenal have had a good 12, 18 months. As a Liverpool fan, like you just said, yeah, they've had a good season. Don't get ahead of yourselves. As a Liverpool fan, do you respect Arsenal's competition, or do
Of
you just
course,
think, or
I've
do you think
always
they're good,
respected. I've
or,
always respected us.
or do you think, oh, they're gonna drop off? Because realistically, it was Arsenal, it was Liverpool and City for about 2-3 seasons.
They won't drop off. They will be there or thereabouts. But I simply think that Liverpool have too much for them at this time.
Based on
Are you
what?
sure?
Not
Based
not
on what both.
not based on last season. You don't. What are you basing that on?
No. Last season, Liverpool had a really shitty season.
Okay, so why?
Even then, Arsenal had to come to Liverpool. They were 2-0 ahead and they nearly lost. That's the kind of character I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Arsenal were 8 points ahead with 5 matches left to go. They conspired to lose the title. That's the kind of character I'm talking about. If it was Liverpool, we would never have lost that title. No way.
That's
Yeah, they did it the
yeah,
season
that's
before
true.
against Tottenham. Like they were
Yeah.
ahead of Tottenham, and they dropped out of the Champions League.
Yeah, man.
Look, the thing
we
about
Yeah.
it,
I
the,
mean,
the thing about it,
basically,
it's all about experience. And
Saka had to simply score a penalty against Southampton. And that would
Yeah.
have been
No,
the
it
big
was
title.
West
And he
Ham.
managed to mess it
Wasn't
up.
it wasn't Southampton. It was West Ham, bro.
West Ham,
wait.
sorry. But he missed one against Southampton too.
but the thing,
No,
the
he
thing
didn't.
about it,
We
the
didn't
thing
have any
about it is
penalties
Arsenal
against
have
Southampton.
now got a year of that experience of going up against Pep, which is something that we've got massives of experience over. But for me, this year, I think City win it by 10 points, maybe even 15.
Yeah, exactly,
Seriously.
bro. Because
Like they're already top, and they haven't really played that well. They
exactly.
haven't really played that well this season.
Liverpool
And they top.
cannot compete for the league title without a defensive midfielder.
No.
They can't.
Exactly. Endo's not good enough, man. He's another one. It's another
He's really
Roman.
not.
He's not just not good enough. He doesn't belong
No.
in a Liverpool shirt.
I started the show by asking the chat, what teams in the Premier League would Endo get into? And we
Yeah,
came
I
up with
remember.
3. We came up with 3 teams, and they're all in the bottom 3.
Yeah, I think he'll do well in maybe the bottom 5, but none of apart from the bottom 5. I don't
That's
see
crazy.
So
Because-
Crazy. We spent
Mhm.
20 million on a guy that wouldn't get in 17 of the 15 of the Premier League teams.
Because
15
look,
of the Premier League teams, but we signed him for
Wolves,
the title
right?
challenge.
Wolves. They just bought a defensive midfielder called Belagard. Nobody knows where he came from. He's completely transformed Wolves.
So who's to blame? Why did
He
you
came from
for
Strasbourg.
Who's to blame for what?
you guys signing Endo? Like,
Klopp.
is it Klopp's fault?
Klopp.
Is it
Yeah.
someone else? Huh?
Yeah, it's Klopp.
Klopp. He
wanted
said it himself that he said it in an open presser. It's not hard to find. He said he convinced the ownership to go against their policy of not buying players over a certain age to buy Endo because he had wanted him 3 years earlier. So it's one of two things. He either bought him as a stopgap measure till January, or he actually thinks he's good enough. Because within certain circles, I hear that the talk is that they are waiting for Stefan Bajcetic and Endo to get better. I'm like, that's a bunch of bull. That's a bunch of nonsense. I mean, you are waiting for an 18-year-old kid who has an adductor problem. You yourself have admitted that the guy has growing issues. So are you expecting the growing issues to be fixed in time for us to challenge for a league title? I hope it's not true though, because of course a lot of the Liverpool journalists don't know shit. A lot of them sit in a room and conjure up stuff. So I hope it's one of those things they are conjuring, because I can't see why a team of the size of Liverpool that is trying to, at the very least, compete for Champions League in a very competitive league, sit and say we are waiting for an 18-year-old to get better.
He's
Albert,
not a DM. He's not a DM.
Yeah, and when they know, when they are well aware that we have a history of hinging our fortunes on Rob Jones. I don't know how many of you guys know that story. There was a
know.
kid. There was a
Terrible.
kid who came up called Rob Jones, a fullback, fantastic, awesome
Incredible
fullback.
player.
Yeah.
listen,
By 23 years old, they had ruined him.
Friday.
listen. Look, K-Back, I got to jump in a minute, yeah. But before I go, Uncle Albert, I've got one interesting question. Yeah, I just want to ask you this question. Before the season started, yeah, what were your expectations? Top four, like right now. Sorry, I've got two questions into one. What are your expectations?
Before the season started, I didn't know what to expect. I'm being very honest.
Okay.
I didn't know what to expect. But right now, simply, I'm just doing arithmetics and statistics right now. Last season, by this time, if you check it out, we had 13 points. Now we have what? 21? How many points do we have now?
I think we've got 20, 21.
Or is it 23? We have something. What we have now should simply project. It should project and tell you that we are going to qualify for
24.
Yeah.
24.
If we have 24 points now, it should simply tell you that we will qualify for top 4 somehow. Because 11 points is less than a third of the 24 points with less than a third of the season gone. If we go sustain it at this rate, that will put us above 70 points. Above 70 points, we'll qualify for top 4.
Hey, what's up, fellas? How you guys doing today?
We're
Bigger
good,
Frank.
Frank. What's up? What's up, big boy?
Man, I was ready to cook Klopp, man. two games in a row. I was ready to cook Klopp, like straight up. This guy, man, like he can't put a team together, bro. Like literally, I watched that team suffer. Like literally, like nobody played well. None of them. I don't know why, man. I can't wrap my mind around it. I just can't. Like Luton, we can't beat. Toulouse, we can't beat. Like, bro, it's bad, man. I don't even know what we're gonna do against Brentford.
It's going to be hard.
It's going to be a difficult match.
They've got a really good midfield.
Sit up
Norgard
and pack up.
and Jensen.
Yeah, but guys, they're missing their main striker. Like,
Yeah,
still
but
a good time to play them.
And Buemo's been on fire for them, mate.
Let me ask you guys, Frank, Uncle Albert, okay, man. Would you rather play Brentford with or without Tony? It's still a good time to play them.
I'd rather play Brentford without Tony, of course.
Yeah, but how can you not feel confident playing Brentford without their best player? Their best player is
because
missing.
other players
We haven't got a
stepped up.
midfield.
Yeah,
Other
true.
players have stepped up.
Yes, but their best player is still missing.
No, but Mbomo is still playing though.
Let me put it this way: are Spurs playing better without Kane?
Yeah, but Kane's not relevant anymore. He's no longer a Spurs player.
Yeah, they've learned. I'm saying they've learned to play without Tony, and they're doing very well.
Yeah.
If he comes back, it's a bonus. Because I can also tell you that he's not going to stay there for very long.
You do know recently Brentford just lost 3 games in a row. They've won games recently, but it hasn't been all playing.
You know, they're playing very well. You see, they're playing. Brentford can catch you on any day and dismantle you.
Mhm.
And Mbuemo and Wisa have stepped up. Against Manchester United. They were very unlucky.
They beat Chelsea. They beat Chelsea
against Man U. They were very, very unlucky to concede 2 goals in stoppage time. They should have won that match. If against Nottingham Forest, they were robbed. They should have won that match. So it's just a little bits of ifs and buts. Given the right circumstances, they can dismantle any team. And last season, the match against Liverpool at Anfield, I was at that match. I left the match with a fucking headache, man. I left the match with a damn fucking headache. I actually had to stop it at the train station and buy Advil. I had a bleeping headache. Ivan Toney was such a fucking handful. It was unbelievable.
Was that 3-1?
No, it was 1-0.
1-0. Oh.
Yeah. I had to sit like gripping my seat until the end. They are that much of a handful.
1-0 to who?
To Liverpool.
We won.
Oh, okay.
We got beat 3-2 by them at their ground.
Yeah.
Was it 3-2? 3-1,
Curtis
3-2.
Jones is the one who scored the goal. Look, we have Liverpool have a problem. The problem we have right now is that our manager seems to be over theorizing what we need to do. He's making so many experiments on the field of play. It's difficult to understand what he and his assistants are trying to do, because we have a team in which we are playing Gakpo out of position. We are playing Elliott out of position. We are playing Alexis McAllister out of position.
Yep.
We are playing Joe Gomez out of position. And we've decided that Zoboslai, who is a real offensive threat coming off of the right side of midfield, should now cover for a fullback around whom they've decided to build the team. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
It doesn't.
So-
I agree with you, Albert. Like,
Yeah.
the thing is, like, sorry to cut you off, but like, one of the things that I don't agree with is like, why are they putting Trent on such a pedestal, man? The dude is not doing shit this fucking season, last season either. Like, people make us even like he's the greatest fucking passer of all time. This is like fucking
political.
some shit.
It's political. We've sold ourselves copium that Trent is the best fullback in the world. How can you even begin to believe that?
No.
Right, next Cafu.
In your when you sit in your room, I'm talking about players playing today. When you look at your mirror, is Trent a better fullback than Reece James?
No,
That's a fucking lie. Is he a better fullback than Kyle Walker? Is he a better fullback than Danny Carvajal? Are
Or
you,
even
are you fucking
Trippier.
kidding me?
even Trippier, the dude from
Trippier.
Newcastle. Yeah,
Name
that guy.
them. Name them. So I mean, we are just selling ourselves the copium and we are believing it. I mean, how many times have you been on Twitter and seen people saying the best fullback? I mean, even today I saw one that I was going to respond to it and I was like, let me forget it. Somebody said Trent is the best fullback ever to have played the game. I was like, seriously? You didn't see Cafu, you didn't see Manfred Kals, you didn't see Danny Alves. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on. You didn't see Vivian Anderson. I mean, should I go on?
Dennis Irwin.
Paul, what's the name of the little fullback who used to play for Manchester United? What's his
Ashley
name? His
Cole.
first name is Paul. His first name is Paul.
I think Ashley Cole was better.
Well,
Premier League
Ashley
era.
Cole was a left fullback, but I'm talking
Yeah.
about right fullbacks.
Oh, right
this-
backs. Okay.
This little kid, he used to play for Man U, smallish. First name is Paul, black guy, Paul something.
Oh,
Played for
Paul.
England for a very
What
long
year?
time.
What year? What year are you
In
talking
the
about?
90s.
I didn't
Played
have
with-
Irvin.
played
on
with
No,
my-
I
Des
didn't
Walker.
grow up. Yeah.
Played with Des Walker and co.
Paul Parker.
Paul Parker.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I could name 1,000 fullback. How can you tell me Trent is the best fullback ever to have played the game? Are you nuts?
No,
Like
but that's
you
what I don't
said-
understand. Like I watch a lot of channels and they all say the same thing. Like they were like, oh, you know, Trent is like the greatest. He's like fucking Jesus Christ, man. He's gonna walk on water soon. Like shit.
And he doesn't
This-
even get into the England team, right? So if he's the best fullback, why are there so many fullbacks ahead of him? And nobody can convince me. And I'm as Liverpool as they can. You can't convince me Trent is a better fullback than Kyle Walker. It's not possible. You can't.
No, he's not.
Mhm.
But I don't understand the whole obsession behind it. Like they're making like, okay, he doesn't want to play fullback. He can't even play midfielder, man. Like he can't fucking play midfielder. He doesn't have the awareness required to play midfielder. He don't want
No,
to tackle.
He can't
He
even
don't-
pass. He can't even. Yeah. He can't dictate the game. He can't do anything.
He can't do shit. Like literally, he can't do shit. He's
I mean,
not a
at the moment,
midfielder.
He's
Like
doing neither. At the moment, he's doing
He's
neither.
He's a
Yeah.
political
He's
player.
in limbo. Like,
He's
he's
a
not playing
political
midfielder.
player.
He's not
He's
playing
a-
right back anymore. Like,
He's a political player. He's a scout. So he has to be.
yeah,
Yeah,
No, but I would sit his ass on the bench because like there was better scousers that actually sat the fucking bench without deserving to sit the bench. I can name Fowler. I can name a few other ones.
he
And
may well end up having a problem with the next manager. If another manager comes in, he may well decide that he will sell Trent. It may happen.
I'd sell him
Look,
though.
I don't want to be the guy that said I told you so, but I said this last year. I said Trent is going to be a big problem. Like he is going to be a big problem for Klopp, and it's now really coming to fruition. Like how on earth we can scrap the formation that we've won everything under, and the reason why we weren't winning is because we had an old midfield, and now we've got a young midfield, and to just throw it all out the window and just play this daft formation, which makes us so vulnerable.
Have you guys noticed that instead of Trent being the fullback who gets to the byline and puts in the crosses for the attackers to deal with, is now Zoboslai who has to get to the byline because most of the time Trent has gone walkabout. He's in the middle. I actually think during the Luton game, he was actually on the left side of midfield.
He was
Correct me if
against
I'm wrong.
Toulouse. He was against Toulouse. He
Yeah,
was
it
on the
was
left
Toulouse.
side of midfield. I'm like, what are you doing?
And the second goal that we conceded against Toulouse, he should have been there. If he was in his position, we wouldn't have conceded it. So, I mean, look, good teams are going to exploit that. And when you talk about it, people say, oh, we haven't lost a match in which Trent was inverted. And I'm like, really?
Yeah, but we conceded every single time. We didn't lose the game because the players actually stepping up, not Trent stepping up. Other players stepping up to make plays.
And also other teams being not good as Liverpool.
Yeah, to close out the games. Like they didn't know how to close out the games. But the thing is, like against teams that know how to close out games, we're not gonna win those games. Not if Trent keep fucking up.
The first three matches that we played, the first three goals that we conceded, all of them were direct Trent mistakes.
Two of his errors.
Yeah. But the Chelsea one, he's the one who actually deflected it because he was out of position. I mean, Klopp wants to die on a certain hill, and if he's not careful, he will die on that hill because better teams will take advantage of it. There's just no two ways around. I mean, if you're a coach and you're looking at how to get to Liverpool, how to get at Liverpool, it's very easy. It's very easy to figure out that you should put somebody in the void that Trent creates. Look at this Ogbene guy from Luton. Before Luton played, I didn't know who he was. Now I know who he is because he completely took Trent to the cleaners. And yet we still hear people saying, "Oh, he's the best fullback in the world."
I think Ogbene just broke a record for being one of the fastest players in the Premier League. I mean, he was so quick. He was so rapid, man.
26 miles an hour.
He was
26 miles an hour.
Yeah.
He was incessant. I mean, he was like
He could get flashed by a speed camera in a residential area.
Like Speedy, he's like Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah, he was like this guy's left jab, Amir Khan's left jab. He was always in his face. It was unbelievable, and he was struggling to cope. Trent should be careful because he's becoming a jack of all trades and a master of none. Really, he should be careful.
Yeah, Trent should be careful, bro.
Yeah, but my whole thing is like I think they need players that are hungry, that want to win, that want that spot, that starting spot, and we don't have that. Manchester City does, and I was talking to someone else. I was like, Manchester City has a lot of actual like depth. If you look at what we have in comparison to what Man City has, they have more depth than we do. Like they could plug in anybody. He could bench anybody he wants on his team. He doesn't even have De Bruyne. And
he will bench players. That's the problem. Like that, I mean, it's not a problem for him. Like that's what makes Man City so good.
Yeah,
every player knows that they can get hooked at any moment.
Guys, the modern game today, is contingent on having a dominant halfback. So Man City have Rodri, Arsenal have Declan Rice or Partey or even Jorginho, take your pick. Man City have Phillips on the bench. They can even utilize Matheus Nunes in that position if they wish. Aston Villa have Douglas Luiz, who to me is only second to Rodri when it comes to being the best halfback in the league. Douglas Luiz. They even have Boubacar Barry sitting on the bench, right? Spurs have Bissouma. They have Bissouma and Papesa. They have Bentancur, who doesn't even get on the bench. We don't have any player like all these guys that I've mentioned.
But
because Alexis is just not good enough.
I have a question.
To be in that position.
He's not.
How much did they pay for Boubacar Kamara or whatever from Aston Villa? How much did Aston Villa pay for that guy?
He was free.
It was a free.
Why didn't we get that guy? Why didn't we get that?
Because Steven Gerrard knew how good he'd be, and he nipped him. Got him from Marseille on free.
I tell you what. Even
player.
Tielemans, who doesn't get into their squad, will do adequately for us as a DM.
Yeah, he will do a job for you guys, man.
You know,
not a DM though. He's a box to box.
Look! I said this on Jamie Phillips' show last night, and I meant this like seriously. If we had Fabinho in our team as a DM, we'd be doing so much better.
We'll be challenging for the title.
We really would.
Absolutely.
Like even a 50% Fabinho is better than what we've got right now.
Yeah.
It really is.
Would you have won against Chelsea with Fabinho?
We would have won against Chelsea. We would have won against Brighton. Look, against Brighton, that little 18-year-old kid, Carlos Baleba, ran us ragged. And guess what? That was his first Premier League game.
Yeah.
That was his first Premier League game. I mean, there is so much overthinking going on in our squad. I find it very difficult to understand.
Yeah,
there's too much in-game tactics going on, which Klopp isn't good at. Like he's never been a master of that. Like he's never been like switching things in the middle of a match.
But
it's what you see is what you get.
And what all the time
you have to work harder to get past it.
You hear from that little git called Pep Linders, right?
Oh.
Make it saying all kinds of stupid things, right? He's the first team coach, and he comes out and says, "Well, I was responsible for the invert." Well, that's dumb. Okay, you guys, if you're a Liverpool supporter, get your Bible and pray, because in 2 weeks, what Doku will do to us will be the stuff of legends.
Oh my God, Jeremy Doku will cook Trent.
He's gonna cook Trent so bad.
Liverpool should have signed him, by the way. Another wrong move from the club.
Have you heard the story about that? So we asked about Doku, and Mane contacted him and said, "Yeah, don't bother coming to Liverpool.
Not yet.
You're not going to get past me."
Yeah.
Because Klopp said to Doku, in a couple of years, you'll be able to replace Mane. And then Mane rang him up and said, "No, you're not."
No, K-Mac. The kid actually came to Liverpool with his parents.
Yeah.
And Klopp asked Mane to chaperone him because Mane spoke French and the kid is from Belgium. Even though his parents are Ghanaian, he's Belgium. And basically, they speak French. So Klopp said to Mane, "Oh, I want to bring this kid. In future, he will replace you. But so you chaperone them around." And Mane told them, "Don't come to Liverpool because you won't play. Don't come to Liverpool. It's not a good place." And he didn't come.
And you've already heard.
The boy said it himself. I mean, you can Google it. He said it himself.
Yeah, it's all over Twitter.
He said it in an interview himself.
And you've already heard the stuff about Firmino talking about Mane and Salah.
Exactly.
Like, honestly,
Jesus.
Firmino coming out with that as well. That's interesting. Like,
and
he is the guy I didn't think would
Firmino
snitch.
has simply confirmed everything that we thought we knew.
Yeah.
And he has also questioned Klopp's character.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah.
But one thing, we all agree that Klopp Klopp's fucking up like hard, right? But the transfers itself, like, I give credit where credit is due. I blame FSG for a lot of bullshit, but I don't blame FSG for some of the transfer decision that Klopp
Yeah.
has made. You know what I mean? Like Endo and like who else?
It didn't make any sense, man. It really didn't make any sense why we signed Endo, because like the dude's 30, and yeah, it just didn't make any sense. And who else did we sign?
Well, what did make any sense for me
I
is
mean-
giving Costas a new contract and Adrian a new
Oh
contract.
yeah, Simicast. Oh my god.
Adrian,
doesn't make
why
any
is
sense.
Adrian still playing for the team? That guy should not even be here.
But that's taking up a spot, taking up a
Yeah.
homegrown spot, which
Yeah.
meant we couldn't get another foreigner in. Like, makes no sense. Like,
He's been shocking, man. Simicast
That's
has
the
been.
thing, like
I honestly, if I were Klopp, if I were Liverpool, I'd terminate his contract right now. I'm sorry.
Oh,
You know-
just
you know-
remembered.
You know the Klopposexuals, right?
Yeah.
Because Klopp
Come on, dude.
because Klopp
Come on,
came
bro.
out and vouched for Endo and all his antics during the signing of Endo. You know what they say? Why did we buy Endo? That's what they say. Why did we buy? They never say why the club buy Endo, because Klopp has come out and said he is the one who was responsible for buying Endo. He's the one who convinced the owners to change their policy and get Endo. But Endo is just, no disrespect to the guy, he's not fit for purpose as a
Yeah.
Liverpool player.
He's a humble guy, but he's not Liverpool level. I'm sorry, but he's just
Yeah,
not.
he's not Liverpool level.
like
That's-
let's just put this into perspective, yeah? We just sold a player that was younger than him, who was our DM, who's
Who?
a Brazilian international, for half the price, who's won everything with us.
Andre.
We just sold him to replace him with Endo, who's older than him and cost half as much. like, please make that make sense, because Stuttgart sold Endo, and we're a Stuttgart now.
They're on top of the league.
They're on top of the league.
No,
Like, I think they're like fourth in the table. Like, they're
so we
absolutely
just
flying.
got in favor of taking Endo, basically.
Yeah, I mean, they literally got rid of their handbrake.
Imagine Stuttgart win the Bundesliga without Endo.
Crazy. They got rid of their handbrake, and he funded their transfers,
Yeah.
because we gave him 20 million and we gave him a 4-year contract. By the way, he got a 4-year contract.
4
Yeah,
years.
that's the worst
That
part
was
of the
stupid.
Endo transfer, that we gave him a 4-year contract. Is shocking,
Mental.
you know. And we are paying him £50,000 a week. It's shocking.
Guy's not even good enough to play in the Europa League. I'm sorry. Sorry.
What
like,
about Fabinho?
In the
bro?
game versus
Fabinho-
Toulouse, he had 0 duels. He had like 0 duels, ground duels.
Listen, the
too
both
slow.
of
Toulouse.
what about Fabinho? The last year was shocking me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Fab was pretty
Look,
bad. Like,
I have a theory about Fabinho's last year. I may be wrong, and it
I don't
sounds
think he got any sleep. I
Thank
think he
you,
had family problems.
thank you,
Yeah.
thank
he had
you,
a
my
new
brother.
kid. He had a new
I,
kid.
thank
too.
you.
Yeah.
That,
New kid
that
and
I
everything.
think that was his problem. His wife was having a baby. The baby came. He simply wasn't getting any night sleep
Yeah, because
Because-
you gotta rotate.
because his wife would appear to be rather dominant. She seems to be the one wearing the trousers. So I won't be surprised if you'll be having his beauty sleep and she'll wake him up and say, "Go and feed the baby," knowing very well he has training in the morning.
I don't think Fabinho had an option on that transfer. I think his wife accepted the transfer,
On his
because she
behalf,
was
yeah.
posting. She was
Honestly.
posting on social media, like she was looking at things to do and places to buy stuff. That's
was
how it got
looking at
leaked.
real estate
Do you remember?
in Riyadh.
That's how it got
Yeah,
leaked
exactly.
that he was going.
Yeah, that was madness, bro. That's beta male behavior.
I still think we should have kept him for another year.
I do
Yeah, we
too.
should have kept him.
It's like my whole thing is it's the fact that we got rid of Fab, that's fine. But how come every other fucking team,
We got rid
Brighton,
of everyone.
get
We got rid of
Yeah, got rid
every
of everyone.
midfielder we had.
is able to actually replace players like a DM? They're able to replace a DM. They got rid of Caicedo, plug somebody else in, they do the job, and they're doing a
Mhm.
fine job. How come we can't get that? Is that too much to ask?
I mean, Man
Exactly,
City
bro.
went to buy Rodri as a direct response to us getting Fabinho when we used Fabinho to cook them in the year in which we won the tournament. We won the trophy. So we should have responded. I mean, you cannot go into a match with a dominant six like Rodri and play Alexis as your DM. You will lose.
Yeah,
It
you
is
lose,
that
bro.
you don't need to.
Yo,
You don't need to be a coach. When you say it, you'll be told, "Oh, trust the manager." You don't know more than Klopp. Well, this is not rocket science. It's not like
exactly,
it's
bro.
brain surgery. I mean,
But how about
how difficult is it to see that if you are Rodri is the best DM in the world? So if you allow him to control the game without any harassment, they will beat you.
they'll beat you?
You just have to look at the drop off on Man City when they lost Rodri. They lost
That
2 games.
they lost 3 games.
Oh,
3
3 games, sorry, yeah.
3
at
games.
the
Yeah.
Carabao Cup. They lost 3.
3 games without him. He's
And
huge.
to Wolves and to us, we
Huge.
destroyed them.
No, against
Right,
Man
guys.
City, we're gonna get cooked, man. Like we're gonna actually get cooked bad.
I've got.
Look, if we don't figure out if we don't figure out how to deal with Doku, it will be a very bad day at the office
They're
because
bad there.
they will give us Doku, and then when Doku gets tired, they will give us Grealish,
Grealish, yeah.
and
Yeah.
and
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 Foden,
the, and the,
Foden come
and
and run
the,
amok.
The most
And
fouled
the-
player.
and the other side, they will give us Phil Foden. So
They'll give
we will
Fabinho,
end up
man.
having do these things in our underwear, both in the front and the back.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Guys, it's been great. Okay, but I've got to go now. It's late and.
All right, fellas, you guys
Yeah,
be
take care, man.
Take
All
care.
right,
care,
man.
people.
You take care. All right. Cheers, man.
All right.
I'll get you on again soon. All right.
All right,
Big up.
later. Big up.
See you, K. See you, K, mate.
See you later, man. See you later, mate. Get you on again. I'll get you on again, mate. All right.
Cheers.
Big up everyone that tuned in. I ended up having a bit of a call in at the end. I hope you enjoyed the show. Yeah, if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do. I'm on the road to 200. I will do another show in the next couple of days, probably next week now. But I hope you enjoyed the show and big up the Reds.